What it do? What it do? What it do?
What it do, people?
Yeah, so we back at y'all. What you sipping on, man? Tell us what you sipping on. Because I don't know what this boy be sipping on, y'all. Every time he got a drip going on over there,
hey, last time
sometimes it's clear. I don't know. Yeah. Is that what they call it nowadays? Water? Is that that's water too, huh?
Stay healthy. This is...
Yeah, guys, that's water.
Colored water.
Colored water. All right, there you have it. You heard it here first. All right, y'all. We back with a Home Abroad podcast.
Yes, sir.
Coming back. We doing a relaxed one this time.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about touchy subject.
Yeah. What you talking about? What you want to talk about?
Let's talk about dating.
Let's talk about something my boy been struggling with. Actually, he need help. That's why we are here for some counseling.
Nobody said all that.
I'm gonna help you out. No.
You gonna help me out?
No. Tell them what you want to talk about.
So we're talking about dating in 2021.
That's a touchy subject.
What's up?
Yeah, what you want to talk about that? No. Go ahead. Tell them.
Since I need some help, yeah. Give me some advice.
I did not say I'm an expert.
Give me some advice.
I just said you're here for some counseling, and I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah. Okay.
No, okay. No, let's go ahead. So, what do you think of dating in today?
It's tough.
But believe that. What makes it tough though? What makes it tough?
I don't know. I mean, starting off,
first of all, I think you gotta look good. That's questionable, right? You gotta have that.
I don't have that, so it makes it astronomically harder. You know,
you gotta be good looking.
Yeah.
You gotta have money.
Yeah. Which I don't have. Those two things I don't have. Yeah, this counseling is going pretty well. Name another thing I don't have.
No, we're working on you, man. So we gotta get you looking good.
I don't have that.
I don't know how we can transform that. And then we gotta get you
money.
Having money.
I don't have money. Okay. Name another one.
All right. Next thing is all right. You gotta be very in good shape. You gotta have a nice.
That I don't have. I'm a fat dude.
I'd say that's probably a good quality.
No.
I think you look fairly healthy.
See, okay. So those qualities you just mentioned, you have all of them. So how's the dating life going?
No, I didn't say I have none of them. These are things that I'm praying every day that I hope I have. No.
You can't be a counselor if you don't have those qualities.
No. I never said that I'm an expert in dating or anything like that.
He has experience. I'm trying to learn from him.
No, we're saying because
you're my idol. I look up to you.
Well, you better start looking. Yeah, I think your standard is just about on the level ground, man. Because I ain't no better than you.
No, actually help a brother out. So
no, but
how do you do it?
No, but seriously though, no jokes aside, why do you think dating is so hard nowadays?
Social media.
You think so? That's a good point. I think you bring up a good point.
Because all you see on social media is these people trying to portray relationships as perfect.
Yeah.
But do you know what really goes into a relationship?
Right. I think you bring up a good point. I think nowadays when it comes to dating, I think social media is such a huge part of that, right? And people have these images or ideas of what a relationship looks like or should look like based on what they see on the media.
It's all fake.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I actually like that.
If you've really been in a relationship, you really know what it takes.
Oh, so it sounds like you're talking from experience.
No, I was trying to,
No, that's very good.
Trying to give you alley-oop so you can
evidence is very, very good. I appreciate that.
No, I was going based off your...
No. So you said social media. So how does social media affect your previous relationships?
Did it affect mine?
Oh, you're above that. That's nothing that could affect you.
Because
right?
I'm trying to look for evidence. There's no evidence because I've never.
But I think you bring up a really good point as to why maybe certain relationships might not flourish in the modern day is because there's all these standards that everybody sees out there, and they think that's what it looks like or is expected. But in reality, isn't social media is just a glimpse of people's lives. In a very small percentage of that, right?
Yeah,
and I feel like even a lot of times, when you see like couples online, you somehow a lot of them end up just even not working out, but people just focus on, oh, this person, like this boyfriend, like bought this person really extravagant
the
stuff.
thing is,
right?
They're gonna show you what they want to show you.
Right. I think I think social media has made it that much harder because you see this 5%, maybe 10% of people that are showing off and doing all these things, especially young people, right? Mm-hmm. There's no way a young person has a boatload of money to like splurge on like going out on vacations, really fancy vacations, like, people see or expensive gifts, right?
I think it was like Cardi B who bought like her boyfriend like freaking car.
Right.
Like if you start keeping those standards on your own relationship,
and that's the expectation a lot of people get in a relationship, I guess, or dating into. They think, oh yeah, this is what I have, or this image, which is not realistic.
Yeah, and then you're talking about the one, like almost like a 1%.
Yeah,
people.
Right.
Who has the money to buy a car just like that? Yo, go cash it out, man.
No, plus, I'm even talking about people our age. You'll always see like people, going out on really fancy vacations. I'm like, there's no way this is a realistic representation of what really people are like,
that's what I'm
right?
saying. Yeah,
because I'm like, these people are probably deep in debt or doing this for show or making money out of doing what they're doing, but people think that's what a relationship looks like.
In your early 20s, who's really balling like that?
Nobody is actually. Yeah, and there's a stat in America. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So people don't have money. I'm telling you, like maybe 20% can afford that kind of lifestyle. And if you're in probably like under 30, I doubt that you have a boatload of money to like splurge on getting,
Hey, people. But if you do have it,
if you do have it, I'm just I'm talking myself. Maybe you do.
Nah.
Now, you have the looks and everything, man.
Nah, remember those qualities you mentioned before that you have?
Hey, don't make fun of me now. This is not a roasting session. If that's what it was, just make it known that that's a roasting session. That's what you want.
I'm a truthful person.
Oh, you're a truthful person. What? Yeah, you heard it. Yep. If you want to roast, we can roast. If that's what you want, we can go there. But I also think beyond even social media or the internet, I think that's a very, very good point that you made. The other thing is, especially when COVID hit and everything, I think a lot of these holes or weaknesses were kind of revealed in a lot of people. Is the other thing I think a lot of people think when it comes to dating or relationships is a delusion that a relationship will cause you to be happy.
Yeah,
I personally believe that's probably the number one thing. If you think a relationship will make you happy, that's a delusion. If you are not happy by yourself, there is no way you're gonna contribute happiness in a relationship.
That's the thing. You have to work on yourself first before you try to bring somebody else into your life.
Yeah, and I understand. I wouldn't completely say you have to work on yourself alone, right? It's not necessarily that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is
the point is if you haven't figured yourself out,
that's true. That's very, very
you're gonna
true.
bring it to the other person. It's not really gonna work out.
Yeah, the delusion that if I'm in a relationship I'll be much happier, or these things will happen. If you're not happy by yourself, your relationship is not gonna be a happy relationship.
Because people view relationships as like something that's gonna bring excitement. Or bring relief or something. No.
You already have to know yourself before jumping into something.
If anything, it brings more stress than happiness.
Do you understand how much it is to be concerned about another human almost 24/7? It's stressful. Like literally, when somebody mentions dating, the first thing that comes to mind is stress. Yeah. That's literally what comes to mind. And I feel like in the modern day, people think that a relationship will cause you to be happy. However, I venture to say that you have to be happy by yourself before you step into something that you involve someone else.
For sure.
Yeah, I think that's something that I've observed or kind of see is if you don't know yourself, as you said, if you don't truly know yourself, you're not going to contribute positively into a relationship involving someone else.
Yeah.
Guess what? A lot of people today have a lot of traumas and things that they got to deal with. And there is no way, if you haven't figured yourself out, their stuff is gonna imply on you.
And once like you have two people who are still trying to figure themselves out, and then you try to mend people together,
right.
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. Especially if you have two. Imagine having two sad people or people who haven't figured themselves out trying to come together. It's gonna be a bigger mess, and I feel like that's
because nobody can help each other.
There you go.
Like who's helping who?
Yeah, and if you figured yourself out and the other person has not, that's also not a good situation to be in. Yeah. You can help someone as much as you can. However, you can't figure them for them.
Yeah.
Like you can't figure someone for themselves. They have to take that initiative.
Yeah, and
like you get
I feel like if you're in a relationship, it's harder for you to do that.
Exactly. I totally agree with that.
But you won't realize that unless you take a step back.
Right.
Like if you've dated before and then you stop dating and then you realize, oh shoot, man, I need to work on myself. I need to figure out what I like, you know. But you can't do that unless you step out and actually look at it from a bird's eye view.
Right. I totally agree with that. I think you brought a good point on social media. I think that the delusion
let's talk about texting.
Oh my goodness, man.
Texting, communication in general, honestly. Texting.
I mean, I understand that's now like the new form of communicating and everything, but man, texting is draining as it's. I don't know. For me, I find texting so draining. I'm not even great at it, right? I'm not good at it.
The problem I have with texting is if I text you and I put an effort into texting you and then you reply to me with like, so okay, let's put a good situation. I say hi, you say hi back, I say how are you? And then you say good. And then you don't say how are you like back to me. Uh-huh. That right there annoys the crap out of me.
I think you boring. I think that's what it is.
Nah. If I'm gonna put in energy, you gotta put in the same.
I'm gonna play
energy.
the devil's advocate. I always hear this. You gotta keep me interested. What? It takes. That's not how. I don't know. I never understand that argument of you gotta keep me interested, because if somebody is putting in the effort and trying to get to know like how your date went or all
not even that. I'll let that slide. Even if you don't ask me how I'm doing, I'll keep it going. And then if I keep on noticing that same trend,
right?
I'm done. I'm done. Like,
so you in demand like that?
You just like
no, it's
just common sense.
I respect that.
If I put in like 50% of energy, I'm expecting 50% back. If I put in 100, I'm expecting 100 back.
Matter of fact, that brings a real good point about this. By the way, I'm not against the feminist movement. I totally support women's rights and all of that. But they talk about there's this thing about the equality thing. But when it comes to the real life, real nitty gritty, there's always that expectation that you as a guy probably has to go like 90% and 10% is all. Yeah, if you're gonna go,
who even came up with that?
You gotta do the 50-50, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people will miss out on good opportunities because such factors. But also to speak to texting, right? How many texts have you exchanged with people and then boom, you never talk again, or you never even have any nothing real productive comes out of texting.
Also, another thing I found is if you're texting every day, it can get really boring really quick.
Right.
And you struggle with, do I really want to text you and I know it's going to be boring, or do I want to wait? If you run out of things to talk about unless you're really meeting in person.
Right? All right, guys.
Or doing something.
Pause there. We gotta pause. This man is talking from experience. It sounds like you're talking from experience. I can feel the emotion in the room right now.
Oh, so you
no, I can feel the emotion in the room right now, man.
This was a case study. This was a case study I did in school. And so this is evidence I gathered.
The way
from
you talking,
people.
it's talking from deep place, and I respect that. This is a safe space. You can always share your thoughts.
No, like I said, I did a case study.
Right.
So I'm talking about
So what you're saying is like the act of texting itself can become a little redundant, right? And I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate when you've gone back and forth with somebody for so long and it doesn't come out to anything, or it just dies off, right?
Yeah,
I feel like there's also that art of actual like physical communication or actual communication that's
and
lost.
that's missing.
And I also feel like it's the same thing even with a phone call. A phone call doesn't accomplish the same thing as actually being with somebody and conversating.
Yeah.
And I do believe that's an art that's kind of going away, especially in the modern day, is the real connection you get with somebody like when you talk to them physically, right?
Yeah, and
Because you get to pick up on a lot of bodily cues, right? I can lie to you on text and you will never know. Like I can say some crap and you will not have an idea of what I'm really feeling or what I really think.
Even when you try to make it interesting,
right.
It's not the same way as when you're in person. Because
right.
you can see facial expressions. Like
right.
if I'm being sarcastic, somebody might take that as me being serious on text.
Right.
But if I'm in person, you're gonna see I'm actually joking.
Right.
But I think there's and then also the pandemic is also like it really, because you can't really meet up on the pandemic. Like it really made it. It shined a light on like texting. If your texting skills are good, and I know I'm bad at texting sometimes, for sure. I'm not the best at texting, but it's I don't know. Yeah.
Hey man, you heard it from him. He's talking from experience.
Remember, it's a case study. Gathered everything.
No, I respect that. No, the energy in the room is totally different.
But what's your experience though with texting? Like how do you view texting?
Man, I struggle with texting. I mean, like I put my best effort forward, but I really struggle. And there's something about especially my personality. I'm able to connect with people in person very, very well. And when it comes to texting, sometimes I don't know, something about it doesn't. I don't want to say it's not natural for people to just talk through text. But there's also that sense of something is missing in this whole, dynamic, right? Because you could be talking to somebody through text, and then when you meet them, they're totally different. Their mannerisms, the way they act, the certain things they do when you're in person, you're like, whoa, this is not what I had in mind. And what texting, I feel like what texting does.
Would you say that's the Gen Z generation or millennials?
You would have to tell me on that one, because I don't have a lot of experience in this subject.
No, you sound like you know what you're talking about.
No, but
I'm trying to pick your brain because I know you're.
No, but I think we touched on two really good points: that social media thing and this delusion that if you haven't figured yourself out, there's no way you're gonna find happiness in it, right? And I feel like it goes back to the social media thing. This whole thing of like texting and even phone calls, they don't reproduce the same feelings or the same reactions as actual physical. But then at the same time, what I've noticed too is when you're in physically with somebody, now it's very difficult to interact with someone naturally.
It is.
It's always very, very strange and awkward because we're so used to communicating online, and you're like, man, like you have this whole idea of somebody through texting or talking on the phone, and then you're in person, you're like, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Right?
I do get that.
Yeah.
It gets really like awkward, like weird.
Very strange.
You could have been talking to this person for like a long time through text, and then you get in person, oh, whoa.
Yeah.